Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So for today's message, I want to do a reading based off of this rock that I found yesterday. Yesterday was the summer solstice and I went out and soaked up all the sun, had some cool downloads, went to a couple beaches that were completely opposite. Not the same vibe or terrain at all, and just share some of these cool insights I got. So I got a couple of readings. I picked a bunch of rocks and I want to do some readings based on them. But right now, this one is like my favorite. And I don't know if you could see what I see, but when I look at this, and my friend confirmed it with me, he was like, yeah, that's definitely an alien's head. And so, okay. It looks so different on camera because it's like backwards and flipped. When I look at it, okay, so like right here is like the skull. Here's the eye. We've got the nose and more of like the jaw right here. And so it was just laying on the ground and it looked, I saw it. There was just this skull and I picked it up and it was otherworldly. I started picking up on like galactic energy, which I guess if it was the sun, right? Summer solstice, you kind of soaking up those downloads, those vibes, things that are otherworldly. So this is going to help bring in whatever insights want to come through today's reading. Gotta make it quicker. And they're telling me to talk about this one too. Okay, so I took this rock as well. It was giving me tiger vibes, but when you really zoom in on it, I get Africa. I get an African tiger. I think that one is so cool. And where I was going, there was tons of like fossils and things like that, but I wasn't quite drawn to them. I was drawn to these ones because they were just so interesting and unique. So why did you want me to do Africa? It kind of reminds me of a guitar pick. Ding, ding, ding. That's my banjo. Anyway, so they showed me Africa and they showed it as like sediment, and which is interesting because yesterday's reading, whatever day, was all about clay. And that's what I'm kind of picturing now is like I see Africa as the clay, as like the birthplace of all things, right? I'm seeing it almost as if the world was like Pangea at that time, but like life starting in Africa. And so this one's saying like otherworldly. So I'm getting like galactic energy. I'm getting like beginning of time and something to do with like Africa. Like if you get your DNA read, you can follow your mother's line and find out like how far back the woman's lineage goes to. And the oldest one that they found was in Africa, and they'd all migrated, and like the whole world stems from that one place. And I think they called her like Sarah or something like that. But what cards did I feel drawn to pull? Well, very first, I was drawn to the Earth Warriors, which now kind of makes sense with Africa and the people. Because I thought this was going to be a very galactic starseed, but there was like, no, we need Earth energies here too. And then the next one that I felt drawn to was Sacred Spirit. And then the last one I wanted was the Moonology, but they said, no, not those ones. We got to use the Dark Crystal. And so I don't know what's going to come out with the Dark Crystal. The Dark Crystal is all about kind of like taking advantage or trying to control others' energies for your benefit. Getting lots of like purpley energy first. And then, oh yeah. This rock comes into it too. And so this one, it reminds me of Hot Wheels, like a Hot Wheels racetrack. But I keep seeing it in like the alien's mind. And it's showing like neural pathways, how we have those grooves and those patterns, those repetitive patterns that like once you kind of like wind something up and you let go, it just kind of, it follows the track. It follows the same loops and patterns, loop-de-doos, and that's how you can work on autopilot. So something to do, I don't know, I want to like this. That's how I keep seeing the alien. Doo, doo, doo. And he's thinking about something. He's thinking about this Africa rock over here. All right, so let's lay these out. Oh, snap. I just broke it. How did I break it? Because I got hands that don't work. All right, well, okay, I'm gonna look. There it is. Okay. It's still giving Africa vibes. It's just, it's like Ethiopia has decided that it wanted to migrate a little bit further, a different direction. How does this even fit on here? Doesn't matter. Don't touch. Okay. So which one's first? We're gonna go with spirit reading cards first. They're showing me 3, 2, and then just 3, 2, and 3. This one wants to come out. So we got Celestial Gatekeeper with timing is critical. Timing is critical. 2 and 3. And then from there, we've got the Galactic Healer in reverse saying move forward with an open mind. And you can move forward with an open mind when you're stuck on, oh, my hands don't want to hold them, on this racetrack, right? And then the last one we have is Spirit Messages with Observed Limitations in reverse. They said 2 of these. So I'm seeing something to do with the third eye. 1. That the cosmic doorway that comes into like the crown and then into the third eye, it's like the crown is wide open. The crown knows what to do. You're getting bombarded with all these energies, but I'm seeing a traffic jam in the third eye. That the third eye, it sees outside reality, but it doesn't actually see a path forward or a path out of it. And so by doing so, it's almost like a fight, flight, or freeze type moment. Maybe it's too much energy being downloaded at once. And so the body, I'm seeing kind of just go, and then letting it go on autopilot. And that's why they say old habits die hard. So what cards did we get? So we've got the Clan of the Wolf Heart. It says, we are the ones we've been waiting for. And then we have, oh no, it's a different language. Intikana with Child of Light. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. And then I feel, okay, this big chunk came out. I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not all of them, but something from this clump. And that's what I'm seeing is like something, they're kind of going back to the clay. Clay seems to be of something. And they're saying like clay, they're showing it almost as like beauty regimen. You know, you have like clay masks and things like that. How once you, oh, they're showing lots of things. They're showing me elephants. Hey, I wore my elephant shirt today. They're showing me how elephants put mud on them to keep themselves cool. They're showing me how like at beauty spas, they put clay on themselves to pull out the toxins. And I'm hearing preservation right now. So something to do with, and then the last reading, it was talking about how you have a block of clay and how you can sculpt it to be whatever art you want, right? As a statue or sculpture or marble or something. It's just this big block until, like here's a block, until you chip it away and then you could turn this into a unicorn or whatever you want. Or an alien head, but I think the ocean did this one, so that one's even cooler. So yeah, we're the ones we've been waiting for. And so they're showing you reawakening. One. Hold on, I just don't have all the cards for this. Okay, so they're almost showing, like, you know, with the dark crystal, 2 and 3. There we go. How the Skeksis, right? How these galactic beings come down, and you know, when they came, they were of a higher vibration. They were of light. But once they kind of got to Earth, and they had all these I think it's just mostly when we realize that our mortality, once we start thinking about those kind of things, that's when they started to have a lack or scarce mindset. So they split, right? They went from the wise ones to the Skeksis, but yet they both were the two sides of the same coin, right? So once they ascended, or they kind of like embraced their shadow side, they came back together to be the one. And that's kind of what I'm seeing, is lifetime after lifetime. Maybe you could even go, I don't know, some people talk about like the Anunnaki and how they created humans just to be like slaves, and that they use it for their own fuel source, something. Maybe there's like an energy of something like that coming in. But what I'm really seeing is old patterns. It's the old patterns that need to be let go of. Because they were made in scarcity and lack mindset. So now the guides are saying that the clan of the wolf heart. So over here we have celestial gatekeeper, and we have the galactic healer with move forward with an open mind. Well, you can't move forward with an open mind because there's too much energy coming in, too much downloads, too much, it's like short circuits. And so if you can't see clear, you get stressed, you get worried, you get anxious, you get paranoid, you become a manifester in that state. And so you start to not like what you see outside of yourself, and you might find yourself in self-sabotage or just self-destructive patterns, and it's stopping you from having this rebirth message from your ancestors. So every time I see a hummingbird, I think of ancestors. And as this one says with the wolf heart, that you are the ones, we are the ones that we've been waiting for. So from ancestor times, they made these things, they did the best that they could with what they had. But maybe there were outside influences that were kind of controlling them or manipulating them to make decisions based in a lack mindset. And so from lifetime after lifetime, and this one here says, observe limitations. You've seen it so many times that we learn from our mistakes. And I think that so much time has passed, and so many trials and tribulations, and your family's lineage has gone through so much, that now here you are as this starseed being. We got starseed vibes always coming through. But it might even be like reincarnation, lifetime after lifetime on this. Or even in this lifetime, you've been many, many people, especially people who have come to live or come to be a soul at this time. That this time, like, think about it, even in like 100 years, how much technology has been like boom, 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 boom. And that's kind of how your soul has been. Whereas in the past, it kind of stayed, right? I'm seeing as like very small town farming, those kind of things, like you need to go get water, those basic necessities. But now that we have all these things and these systems in place, like, we as people have evolved and changed and grew so fast. And so it's saying now that we're the ones that we've been waiting for to come and free ourselves from this loop-de-loo track mindset that someone outside of us knows better, and to stop the old paradigm, they say, because it was based in lack and fear. And so there are some beings or sources that when you are in fear, they feed off your fear. And you might even run into these with like some people who just love gossip and drama and chaos, and like they just stir the pot. It's almost like they thrive off of someone else's mishap, and it's like an energy fuel source for them. that feeling of, you know, status quo and peace and things like that. It's very uncomfortable for them. And I do find that a lot of people who kind of thrive in those environments, in those situations, they tend to have a lot of inner shadow work to do themselves, that they've got demons inside that they need to just go within, right? There's all these attachments. And you may not even know when you picked up an attachment that thrives on chaos. Why are we talking about this? Because the clan of the wolf heart. The clan of the wolf heart. We keep hearing about lone wolf, but the thing with wolves is they actually hunt in packs, and they are very much a family and community oriented species. So I'm seeing both of that. So what about being part of the group but yet an individual? They're saying go into this card so that you understand. It's that Intikana, child of light. So when I looked, it mostly was the monarch butterfly, and then the words child of light came, and then she's reaching up to the sky. She has something to do with her belly. I felt the solar plexus, and then I saw the aura around her, and then things reaching up to the sky. And so it said, like, let's say that there is something that's like a Skeksis or an outside power that is trying to control or manipulate a select few. And it said that, like, as this came, it said, we are the ones we've been waiting for. So they said that there is a monarch, that you, as your soul, you're very powerful and precious and royal. That in the monarchy and the way that souls and progression or something to do like that, they said that this outside source isn't above you. In fact, your soul is even more precious and valuable at this time, so that if you understood your solar plexus, as I said, it was something to do with her stomach, sacral and solar plexus. It was like, if you understood, now they're bringing me to the Africa pick, because I saw, what did I see? Tigers in this. So that's bringing in that sacral. And then when I think of tigers, going back to crystals, I think of tiger's eye, which is very good for the solar plexus. I'm seeing this confident, this I am, this roar within you. And it's like saying, we really want you to activate and ignite that, because you are the child of light. You have this light within you. You have this pure source, this code, this message from the ancestors, connected to, right, especially starseeds. The starseeds are here. They heard the call on a soul level, and the call said, Earth needs help. So we incarnated into difficult situations, and that might be why you might be like, why am I, like, what's even my purpose? And it's hard to know for some, because you think that this purpose is this grand thing, like I need to go out and create this dynasty or something like that. But most of the starseeds' purpose is they're incarnated in karmic families, or, right, they find themselves in karmic situations, tons and tons of karmic problems, and they keep thinking, now I'm seeing this loop, the same pattern, the same loop. Is it me? Am I the problem? Am I the drama? But that's not what I'm getting. I'm getting that there is this outside source that loves the drama and the conflict and the gossip and the backstabbing and lying and cheating and whatever karmic kind of situation it is. And so starseeds found themselves in those, they were planted there as seeds. And it's like time to like wake up at certain times. As this one said, celestial gatekeeper, timing is critical. So lots of times you probably thought that you were supposed to go out there and you're supposed to bring change and you're supposed to do all these crazy, fun, adventurous things. But it's like you were a seed that's been planted or buried, and it just wasn't time yet. It's like it's almost like you need to absorb everything around you and understand why before you can actually go and change rules. I'm like, how do I explain myself? I'm definitely a type A personality. I'm a type A person with a type B personality. And so it's like rules. I freaking love rules. I don't think many people would know that. But I also love to change and break rules. And I think you need to go into an environment. You need to learn the rules and figure out, ask questions. Like, why is this even in place? What's up with this? How did this become? Okay, that made sense. But over time, things have, drifted apart. Now we can change and adjust and like do this. And I think that things like that are so important. So that's what I'm kind of seeing is like you're in this environment. You're like, I don't like these people. These people need to change. They need to be more like, I don't know, because on a heart level, right? Because this is the wolf heart. On a heart level, your heart already knows. Your heart is so in tuned to your path that you must trust it. That's where that lone wolf energy comes in. The heart will guide you. Don't listen to the negative loop, right? I'm seeing it be like, again, Hot Wheels, and you wind it up, and sometimes it has so much speed it just goes off track and causes more problems in the long run. But the heart, we're hearing, is slow and steady and keeps moving forward. And so, yeah, you're planted in these situations, and then all of a sudden, it's time to change, right? You've gathered so much information, you've learned, and you're like, am I the problem? Am I the drama? No, I'm not. You release and you let go and you do all these things, and you realize who has baggage and who doesn't, and what's yours and what's not. And then you bloom. Star seeds become star blooms, star flowers, star whatever they are. And it depends what kind of seed you are. And there's been a lot of lotus kind of thing, right? Reaching for the light. It's just this power activates. And so in this moment, you start doing that. It's a ripple effect through everything. And so that's where this galactic healer kind of comes forward. It says, move forward with an open mind. It was in reverse because you want to just go in and, but if you haven't learned everything, right? Even if I'm seeing someone think that they've learned something, but then, go out there and be like, listen to me. But if you haven't fully learned all aspects of that, you could easily be challenged and then be like, oh, well, I don't know. And like lose that confidence or power in yourself. So that's why it seems like things were buried a long time. And so now that's why it's time to wake up. It's like you had to soak in these messages, you had to learn these lessons, do all these things, and now when you're challenged, you're confident, like nothing's going to pull you off your path. And so again, it goes to these spirit messages with the ancestors, observing limitations. It's like finally you get to this point where you know how powerful you are. You know that you've been this lone wolf in this community of wolves. I just keep seeing their hunting strategy. Everyone has their part to play, and everyone is important. And it doesn't matter where in the pack you run. I'm hearing everyone be like, but I want to be the leader. Not everyone's a leader. And everyone, I don't know, I just keep seeing like the elders, the older, wiser ones, right? Saving that knowledge or that energy is important, right? And plus they're a little bit slower, so they go to the back. I don't know, just something to do about the way they hunt and everyone having their part. Don't disregard, because I'm hearing like when you do wake up, because you are in these karmic situations, you are in these karmic families or relationships or whatever, not being like, I'm better than them, right? That's just spiritual bypassing. But it's like understanding how they got to where they got to and how not to take their energy to control you anymore, but releasing all that baggage and transmuting it in a more loving way, in a lighter, happier way. So now we do have some of these dark crystal cards. So we have 9 of Stones in reverse. We have Chariot in reverse. Oh, no, we have 9 of Stones in the upright, Chariot in reverse, and then we have 6 of Gems in reverse. So let me just, and I want to pull one more. All right, I was like, I just want one kind of court card. I did get Knight of Gems. There's Hup. Hup. What about Hup? Well, Hup's story is he wants to be a paladin knight, but paladin knights tend to be more of the warriors. And so he has this bravery to go out and try something that his kind has never done before, which now brings me back to the clan of the lone wolf. We are the ones we've been waiting for. I think that that's what it's kind of clarifying is we have 9 of stones. Stones, I believe, would be swords. 9 of swords is like one more would make it unmanageable. Like it would be the end or death of a situation. But there's still a little bit of life. There's still a little bit of coming back to this. There is a little bit of mind control that needs to be let go of, like something that consumes your mind, this old pattern and thought and whatever it is. It usually comes from those in the karmic situations that we've been guided to learn from, to learn and heal from. We've got this galactic healer. It says move forward with an open mind. And so Hup, his kinds have been taken advantage of so much that it's like he had to wait until he got to the 9 of swords, right? 10 of swords would have been death and whatever, but it's like he's taken enough of the burden that now he's learned from it, he understands it, and he's not gonna put up with it. And so that's why the Chariot is in reverse. It's like, I'm not gonna put up with this. This is done, this ends here. And let's see. The Chariot comes and clarifies the galactic healer with moving forward with an open mind. But here we have no movement because it's in reverse. There is something to do with the lone wolf and then still being part of a pact. It's with that being a starseed, knowing that you have a special mission, that you're here to heal, and still being part of those karmic situations and not judging them and not, I'm hearing condemning them, demanding things from them. It's like you need to let your light grow and expand and illuminate. And when you do that, I see everything outside of you change as well. That, right, let's say it's even just picking up healthy habits that you might influence others outside of yourself, right? Maybe it's like you're the one that provides or cooks for everyone and you're going to start eating healthier for yourself, but you're, instead of catering to every single person's need, it's like, well, if you want to eat, this is what I'm going to cook, and you can eat it, or you could starve or go cook your own. And they're like, well, I don't want to cook my own, or, you know, and then so they start eating your food, and your food, because it's healthier, now they feel better, something like that. And so the last one that came out was the 2 of Gems, which here we have the Knight of Gems. Child of Light and Spirit Messages. It's interesting. It's like, so Hup, right? They were just supposed to be annoying little creatures, the ones that don't really think for themselves, that they're all like, la, 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 and they run around and don't think, and they smell, and they whatever. And, but Hup, he wants to be a paladin. Like, he wants to have a purpose, more things like that. And so when I saw the 6 of Gems, I saw it as like, I always see 6, like 5 is chaos, and like things get broken, and right, there's usually a fight or conflict of something. But then 6 is almost like the ace starting over again, but with more of a spiritual purpose, right? And here we have the spiritual messages with the Child of Light. And so Pentacles, a purpose with resources or money. And I see that as like star seeds, and their purpose. I see it being like what you think your purpose is not your purpose. You think you need to go out there and, I don't know, I'm seeing like, especially like spiritual community people, be like, I need to be the leader. I need to be the one that gives presentations and have everyone look up to me and listen to me. It's like, because I'm a teacher. And it's like, that's not the direction that you're meant to go. For some, it's funny because I'm hearing like, to the person who's avoiding doing those things, that is your purpose, and you know that's your purpose. You just got to get yourself out of your comfort zone about talking publicly. But it's just saying for a lot of star seeds that what you think is your purpose isn't a physical thing that you need to go out and do. It's just who you are, and that's it. It's just who you are. So the main thing from this is to work on, right, as a star seed, work on your mind, because you get so much downloads from spirit that sometimes it could be too much cluttered or confusion, that if you're getting way too much, you need to talk to your guides and be like, hey, like we need to shut this crown down a bit because it's way too intense for me to understand. My mind is getting paranoid or overstimulated or fight, flight, or freeze type energy. And then if you can't even make a decision for yourself quite yet, it's like you can reflect on the outside of you, but we don't want the others controlling your moves, your heart. Because I'm seeing someone being controlled and they're like, I don't like it. So then they isolate themselves and they become that lone wolf. And Spirit's saying like, well, you're meant to be part of the pack still. That's why we haven't really had opportunities for you to leave. I feel like someone's been like, I'm gonna leave, and it's like that they've been saying that forever. Well, there's still something to learn from this lesson. You're not the problem. The problem is that you are viewing the problem in a way that keeps you stuck in cycles and patterns. How do we bust forth? And really it is just for you to sit there and radiate and shine your light. That's all you gotta do. Because you're a child of the light. There's a little bit of confidence that needs to come from the solar plexus. I'm seeing that tiger energy. I'm seeing Africa from the little pick, and it is bringing me back to the mud. How like amoebas grew and grew and grew and grew. It's like, it's just the spark or source of life started from there. And I feel like you've got connections there somehow. And so it's so funny that on a lineage level, your soul goes back so far that why would you listen to these people outside of you who are stuck in karmic lessons that you came here to help them free themselves from? Doesn't make sense. And so it's just funny because they're saying you're a child of light. It says observe the limitations and realize that what you think you are meant to do isn't what you're meant to do, that you're so much more, that you are part of this, like, I keep hearing a hierarchy or monarch or something to do when it comes to soul levels, and you're very high up there. So your purpose here is to control your mind and listen to your heart and just raise your energy. That's all you have to do. And the opportunities and the people and whatever that you're meant to learn or work through will happen. And that's about it, they're saying. Anything else that I just need to... You tried to force things and push things and make things happen because, you know, you thought you were on this healing mission, but it was like so much deeper than you ever understood. So now that you really have gone through the trenches, you've gone through the thickest mud, now you can create. Especially yesterday's message was about creating art. There was a cool down period. If you can't think well, it's just saying cool down. And there is a need to detox. There is a need to obviously eat better, pay attention to what kind of media or music you listen to. Is it negative? Is this gonna, like, what are you consuming? what's the energy you're consuming, especially the people around you. If they've got shitty energy and they want you to feel like them, ugh. Imagine, remember at the beginning it was all gossipy and all these other things? We don't want that. So pay attention to that, because now you got the clan of the wolf heart, and it's here for you to create change. And they say, go and learn about the hunting. Where do you stand in that? And how could you understand that even on a deeper level and apply it to the people around you, they say. But I only wanted to make this video be like half an hour or less because I've got places to go. And so we'll leave it there. I feel like there's a little bit more, but maybe it will come out in a different reading. So don't force yourself to grow faster than you need to. Let yourself blossom at the right time. Don't isolate yourself. You're meant to be part of the pact, but if you are in that isolation moment, that also is important to learn. Getting wolf energy, tiger energy, beginning origins, star seeds, everything from A to B and everything in between. So that's a lot of stuff. So whatever you took and you thought you knew, there was just so much more to learn. And now that you've learned it, I'm seeing this great growth happen. And you can trust the process this time, because right now is the timing. Timing is critical, right? This was the time that they've planted you and hid you, and now it's time to be like, surprise. It was always this awesome. I was just marinating a bit. So have a good day. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.